The gift of silence. Akkosaka paced back and forth in his garden, his face clouded with a heavy frown. He was a man who took great pride in his family's traditions, and he could not understand why his brother Baron had chosen a different path. The air around him seemed to hum with his frustration as he muttered to himself, his hands clenched into tight fists. He felt as though a great shadow had fallen over his household. News had reached Akkosaka that Baron had joined the followers of a teacher known as the Buddha. Baron had left behind his fine silk clothes and his comfortable life to live simply in the quiet bamboo groves. As Baron walked down the dusty road toward the Veluvana monastery, he looked lighter and happier than he ever had at home, his simple robes swaying with each steady step he took toward the horizon. Akkosaka's heart burned with a fiery rage. He felt that this new teacher had stolen his brother away and ruined their family's reputation. He decided to go to the Veluvana monastery, not to listen or to learn, but to let out all the anger he had been bottling up. He stormed through the gates of the quiet bamboo grove, his heavy footsteps crunching loudly on the dry, fallen leaves. In the heart of the grove, sitting perfectly still beneath the shade of a wide, ancient tree, was the Buddha. He looked like a mountain of peace amidst the rustling leaves. Around him, the forest was quiet, and even the birds seemed to soften their songs in his presence. He sat with his eyes partially closed, radiating a sense of calm that made the air feel cool and still. Akkosaka didn't stop. He marched right up to the Buddha and began to shout. He used the sharpest words he knew, calling the teacher names and blaming him for breaking apart his family. He stood tall, pointing a finger and pouring out his bitterness with a loud roar, while the Buddha remained as still as a statue, listening without flinching or turning away. When Akkosaka finally ran out of breath and stopped shouting, the grove became very quiet. The Buddha waited for a long moment, allowing the silence to settle between them. Then he spoke in a voice that was as soft as a breeze through the trees. He didn't sound hurt or defensive. Instead, he asked a simple question that caught Akkosaka completely by surprise. "Tell me," the Buddha said, "if you prepare a great feast and invite a guest to your home, but the guest chooses not to accept the food, to whom does that food belong?" Akkosaka blinked, his anger momentarily paused by the odd question. He crossed his arms and huffed, thinking the answer was obvious to anyone. "Well," Akkosaka replied gruffly, "if the guest doesn't accept the food, then the food still belongs to me, the host." The Buddha nodded slowly. "In the same way," he explained, "I do not accept your insults or your anger. Since I do not take them from you, they remain with you. You are the one who must carry them home." The Buddha continued, "Returning anger with anger is like trying to put out a fire by throwing more wood onto it. Holding on to rage is like picking up a glowing hot coal to throw it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. If you throw dust against the wind, it only blows back into your own eyes." The weight of his own bitterness finally felt too heavy for Akkosaka to carry. He realized that by being angry, he was only hurting himself. He took a deep breath and knelt on the soft earth before the Buddha. He didn't want to carry the hot coals anymore. He wanted the peace that his brother had found, and he asked to stay and learn.